Is it really worth £1,150?
Who knows?
That is the question we're asking ourselves today. Funny enough, this bag is the Heritage Bayswater in deep embossed croc in oxblood. It looks a bit brown on camera, but that's what colour it is. And funny enough, when this was released to Mulberry, it was more expensive than that, wasn't it? Yes. It was at least 1,125.
Yep.
Now they're 1,150. But the normal Bayswaters, like in the MVT that is now, have gone up.
So this was like £200 more than at the time, more than the regular MVT.
Now,
Bayswater.
so now currents, how we are,
equivalent.
The newest, like oak or black Bayswater Heritage is 1,995.
Yep.
And the like special finishes like croc and stuff. The closest one I could find is shiny croc, and that's 1,150, I believe.
We're on the same kind of.
But
difference.
when this one came out, it was like 1,129. No, 1,150. It was
an actual exotic like
it
ostrich
was
or
much
hair calf.
larger.
It was going to be the most expensive base you could
and
buy.
this came out with black deep embossed croc, oxblood, and camel.
Camel, which is a very light, not a tan, but a light kind of beige, nude almost.
No, it's camel in it, like like Max Mara camel. It's like brown beige.
Yeah.
Yeah, it's not a light colour though. It's got like quite a lot of depth to it. It's almost gold, like it's
okay.
Anyway, so they were meant to be like essentials in this leather. So this leather is essentially normal sort of like cow leather. Hide, sorry. That has basically it's a plate, and it presses the deep embossed croc into the bag. It's different from.
So you get that kind of crocodile
I feel like I had a cat then, like climbing up my arm. It's different from the shiny croc now that has a softer sort of a softer cut croc, and it's different from what is it called? Oz? PVT.
Which one?
Printed vegetable.
Printed vegetable was the
Printed vegetan.
printed PVT, yeah, which was basically.
It's like a put it that side. Let's put it up. It was like a softer.
That was more like whereas this is actually almost scaled in. You can actually almost you can feel them
deep and
it's cut into that. Yeah, but this one's printed and PVT is printed.
And people get confused. So PVT is printed, so it's a very soft print, which was originally released about 20 years ago now.
Yeah.
No, not that long ago.
Well, PVT?
PVT, because
a long time ago, PVT.
Yeah, anyway, and they released it as full price, and then they started making them exclusively for outlet, and they came to outlet at 525, 595.
No,
around
625.
And then they went down a little bit, didn't they?
595, yeah.
Yeah, in black and oak. And people think that's the same finish as this bag, which then later came out as a premium finish.
Agreed.
It isn't. It's a completely different, embossing technique. I much prefer this. They went on to then do shiny croc, which is a sort of like I would say like a soft version of this.
Yeah.
It's got like more rounded edges. It's like a bit like it looks like
more matte finish,
puffy almost. Yeah.
The other thing I would say is this actual kind of leather came out coinciding with the same kind of timeline for anyone who's kind of a Mulberry head, was when they brought the kite out. That kind of crossover from original kind of Mulberry.
This was a bit before, wasn't it? And only a little bit.
I'm saying you can get these colours though and these prints in the kite, which means it was available at that time.
Yeah, it was the leather they used. So we got soft gold hardware. I will hold it up for you because although when we're talking it's good on this, it's not very good when I'm showing you. Soft gold hardware. I took
like a shiny gold basically.
Yeah. I took my fob off. I always take my fobs off. I don't like fobs. So this one has a microfiber lining.
Yep. I think most of these came. I won't say all, but most of these came with. I won't say all.
Yeah,
but I have seen
we had a couple in outlet that didn't, and I think they were just random ones that they were trying out.
When you say had them, what do you mean?
Had suede.
Yes, with that leather.
Yeah.
Combination.
Obviously in the oxblood colour, it's got feet. It's a very classic heritage Bayswater. My question is, and what we're asking is this worth £200 more than a standard Bayswater? Like, what are the pros and cons?
Yeah. Okay. Would you pay the difference?
I would. I personally think, I'll put it up there again. If that's annoying, then you have to tell me in the comments. I personally think I prefer this leather combination. I'm not a fan of the Heritage Bayswater in general. If you watched our Compare the Bayswater videos, you'll know that I don't like Bayswater particularly. Austin does. I wanted this one. One, because I think the combination of the oxblood and the croc is a very high end finish.
Yep.
I don't think it's showing it off in its best light up there. I'll hold it.
Okay.
Take that.
No problem.
It just looks a bit like blocky.
Okay.
There you go, that looks nicer. I think the finish looks very high end, the matte finish. The sharp print as well, I think makes it look more expensive than the PVT, which I think just looks a bit more like traditional.
Yes, you're right. I also think the old PVT, which I will call it old because it is an older technique and an older style, it looks exactly that. It looks like a dated kind of...
This actually looks like
leather.
It doesn't, but it sort of does look like an actual alligator skin.
Yes, I would say it's closest to looking more realistic, because even the newer one, would you call it shiny croc? Is it called?
It's called shiny croc.
Okay, so that one, I would say, in actual fact, although there was a cut as well, I actually don't think that looks
well, they put like
authentic to an animal at all.
They put like a lacquer on it, and personally, I really like shiny croc as well. I'm a big fan.
Yep.
Big fan. Probably my favourite finish at Mulberry Bayswater. They did green last year, and it was just like sickening. But this was sort of the original of that, and obviously I have a kite in this colour as well, but in black.
Black, that leather.
And the deep embossed croc.
We should do kite video one day.
Yeah. I prefer it because it makes the bag more structured in general. This is stuffed obviously now, but it's not hugely stuffed, and it just has more of a structured shape, which I prefer personally. I prefer it more if it had a suede lining. I preference to a suede lining. Microfiber doesn't take away from the bag. I murked it a bit in another video, but it doesn't take away from the bag. It's still a very high-end, lovely bag. It's just, and it makes it a bit lighter. It does. I'm holding this now, and it's fine, where suede, it would, drop your arm a bit. But I would just prefer it if it was suede. But in terms of, is it a bag I carry all the time? No, because I'm not a Bayswater human. I'm holding it with this outfit and it looks pretty fire. Like if I was going to work, this is a nice, good work bag. I
was just going to say, I think it depends a lot about what you do. Someone mentioned in the comments a couple of videos ago when we talked about Bayswaters, about how useful they are as everyday bags. And I will say, when you're actually working with a company, this was your daily, everyday bag, wasn't it?
No, I used a black one.
A Bayswater in general, I'm talking about.
I used a black MVT, but I used it, if I'm honest, I used it though because I didn't really think much of it.
Really?
So it was just like thrown around.
Okay. So it was a useful everyday bag.
Yeah, this is never a bag I really want that.
But do you think that I know it's gone off track a bit, but do you actually think, because I sometimes think like that, but do you think because we work with a company and you see so many, like hundreds of these bags, not only what customers wearing them, but also selling them, you become immune to them almost?
We were selling as a, on my own, I was selling between 5 and 10 a day.
A day? And that's a normal day?
And getting asked about them more.
Yeah.
Like different finishes and stuff. So it just became one of those bags that we just love to hate. It was just there.
Yeah, I think it's too much of a good thing.
It looks nice as I'm holding it now. Would I pay £200 extra for if we do it in relative terms, this angle's better for me. If we do it in relative terms, would I pay £200 extra against the current market MVT, which is now chrome tan, and a shiny croc? Yes.
Yeah, agreed.
I would 100%. If they asked me to pay £500 more, I would pay £500 more.
I actually think it's a different bag.
Also, that little, I know it sounds really snobby almost, but that little bit of extra money that you put into the finish, because obviously the finish costs more to make or whatever, a smaller percentage of people will do that.
Yeah, which means
and they will do that because they like the colour, they like the finish. There's something about it that appeals to them, which makes it slightly more, for me, my personal opinion, it's about high end.
Yeah, I agree.
It's more luxury experience. Yeah. And I'm not putting down people that go for an oak, a black, or
between us both, we have those also.
Because they have their place and we all need them. I have one, you have one.
Yep.
But would I pay £200 extra for this? Yes, I would.
Yeah, same. I agree with you. I was also going to say as well. You just mentioned that obviously we kind of become a bit numb to them almost when we had more kind of history with the company at the time. I will say this though, after all these years later and all these different luxury brands and luxury bags, to be quite frank, that you have either in the shop or you own personally, the truth of the matter is you probably still wouldn't sell those bags. Do you see what I'm saying? You'd keep some in your collection, wouldn't you? So they do have some kind of part of you, I'm saying.
Yeah, they do, but obviously I'm not... I could do another video on my feelings generally on a Bayswater, but this is like, I'm trying to just pin down, would you pay an extra for this finish? Exclusively talking about this finish and not just the Bayswater.
And your answer is yes, 100%.
Yeah, what is your answer?
Yes.
Yeah, 100%. I would pay even more if they put suede in it. If someone could find me this bag in suede, I'd pay them.
Yeah. I actually, the Oxford I've seen quite a few times, and I've seen the caramel, did you say it's called? Camel. Sorry. But I would say the black one, I believe, nice. Don't quote me on this, but I'm pretty sure in the shop, at one point or another, we saw in both shiny gold, which is this hardware, and also what they call...
They did do a crossover with Johnny's gold, yeah.
But they also, yeah, so I was going to say, I would be interested to find one of those, because I wonder if that's suede or not.
They did this as well.
Because Johnny used suede.
They did...
Because the kite used suede.
Did the lights just flash then?
Yes.
Yes, sorry. Paranormal. No, but it wasn't just that. It wasn't that bag. They did this in like... No, but are you thinking of... I'm being really serious now. Are you thinking of the original polished Crocs?
No, I'm not.
You know, that had like a lacquer on them?
I do, like, which almost... Some of them peeled.
Yeah, they did peel. That's a good one. Has anyone got any of those? I really like that bag. I had one for a while.
Gorgeous.
But I got rid of it because it peels. The lacquer
That was the new
peels
shape
off.
beige as well, wasn't it?
Yeah, but they did...
No, they didn't do that. They didn't do that. They did Johnny shape in that.
So, would you pay... Is it worth 1,000? Because we just like start talking and it's probably really annoying for people. Would you pay £1,200 for this bag as opposed to £1,000 for a plain coloured Bayswater? Yes, I would, and you should too.